Let's talk 446445. That's right, I'm back. This doujin is called Ambertown, the season with cherry blossoms. It's from the artist Miyama. It doesn't have a lot of tags, but skimming through it, it's one of the most wholesome ones I've read in a hot minute. So let's jump right into it. The doujin starts out outside with someone walking, talking about getting paid while thinking about some sushi. But he overhears someone asking for help, and he looks to see a face full of this buttocks is asking for help. So he pulls her out. She goes to thank him for helping her, but can't find him. Which she looks down and sees the short king himself who helped her, which gives her the impression that he's such a helpful kid, which irks him, causing him to scream that he's 18 years old, the same age as her. P.S. I know this is like an accident. They're 18. Yeah. The two introduce themselves to each other before Kohaku asks why she's following him. Sakurako still wants to show her gratitude for helping her, and goes on explaining before getting cut off by her stomach growling. Kohaku says they should just go somewhere to eat, thinking she looks rich, so he might as well get a free meal out of her. They go to the sushi bar foreshadowed earlier, which she's fascinated because she's never been in one before. He asks about her, asking if her name means she's a local celebrity and why she was in that predicament. She's going to be leaving the city to study abroad next year and wanted to explore the city, but then some prize thing catches her eye, where if you insert a plate you can receive a prize. She wants to try it even though he tells her it's just a trick for the kids, but she inserts a plate and waits before getting denied, and he reiterates his point from before. But he throws a plate in and wins the prize, a small little keychain which he gives to her, and she has an overreaction. They go to pay and Sakurako takes out her card before being told it's only cash, and now Kohaku has to spend his paycheck. They leave and she apologizes again. She goes on complimenting him, calling him nice and big-hearted, but she asks him to teach her various more things before she leaves the city, which he says yeah in his free time, but she makes plans for tomorrow, saying it's a promise, and it sets in with him that he has to hang out with her for one more year. So now they go around, and his daily life with Sakurako became the norm. It was a pain in his rear, but it was somewhat pleasant, and what he thought was a long time before had passed in a flash, and he gets a text from Sakurako that her study abroad schedule is official, and she wants to meet him one last time. They meet up where they first met, and instead of going somewhere or having like a picnic, he doesn't want to go anywhere, since this is the last time they'll see each other like this. He turns to go and she turns to go after him, but the charm on her bag from the sushi place falls into the water, and she chases after it, jumping into the water searching for it. He grabs her and pulls her towards him, and she's crying about how it's the first present he gave her, and it would be okay if they were separated as long as she had that. He then hugs her and says that he'll give her as much of that stuff as she wants, and tells her don't you dare cry. It cuts to a house, and the two confess their feelings for each other, and then they do the deed, before saying that this isn't going to be a memory, and that he'll find her in the future, and they continue. They finish up and it cuts to an airport. 3 years have passed since that day, and it's been long enough to forget their promise. She sits in a park thinking about how he might not remember it, and she still thinks about it, getting depressed over the thought of wanting to see him again. But then someone stops in front of her saying she forgot something, and in her eyes you see the keychain, and the two meet up again, and she's surprised because he hasn't forgotten their promise. She starts tearing up and goes to hug him, knocking him backwards, and the doujin ends with her saying that they'll always be together. Overall, I rate this a 10 out of 10. It was such a new change of pace with comedy aspects and wholesome moments mixed together so well. The art style was definitely unique, but I also really liked it. Check it out for yourself as always. Sauce is making its return on this channel, though I'm only planning of doing it like once or twice a month, if at all. That's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul. These hentai babes make me drool. Hatsune Miku is great. She makes me masturbate. Fairy tale.